Still tracking the updates on the election front. Of course, let's not forget, it is an election year. And right now, according to one odds maker, we are seeing President Trump's odds of re-election starting to dwindle quite significantly when you look at the gap between him and former Vice President Joe Biden. For more on that, I want to bring on Sarbjit Bakhshi, Smarkets head of political markets, joins us now. And Sarbjit, good to talk with you again. I mean, we highlighted this trend a couple of weeks ago, but what are you seeing now when you think about bettors maybe shifting away from Trump's re-election chances?
Well, since the beginning of June, Trump's chances have been coming down on our market. Biden's now trading at 53%, which is his highest ever price, and Trump's just down at 42% to be the next president on our $2.4 million market. So whatever has been happening over the last couple of months has really kind of worked in Joe Biden's favor and against Trump, as bettors are kind of seeing Joe Biden as a more viable presidential candidate going into the election, and Trump faltering as he makes his final steps up to that period of election.
Yeah, and we've seen that kind of play out here in terms of his approval rating as well in response to the coronavirus crisis, matching what we're seeing in the betting markets. But beyond that, the trend itself, I mean, we'd had you on for a discussion when we saw Joe Biden's odds leapfrog President Trump's re-election chances. But now the trend itself seems worrisome when we think about we are now in June, and of course the election just months away in November. So what do you make of that and the odds of that shifting or flipping again? How hard is it for a candidate to flip that back after already seeing his lead deteriorate?
Well, I think at this stage, we're going to have to see polling in states flipping around and favoring Trump over Biden. What we've seen on 9 key battleground states is a very interesting trend indeed, because right now there are 3 toss-up states which I'd call Arizona, Florida, North Carolina, which are about 50-50. You've got 3 states that are likely to go Democrats. So we're talking about Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin, and 3 that are likely to go Republican: Georgia, Ohio, Texas. So everything is kind of neatly balanced across these 9 battleground states. If Trump can turn more than Georgia, Ohio, and Texas, maybe move Wisconsin, maybe turn Arizona, I think that's the chance that Trump has then to kind of shift up in the likelihood of becoming the next American president.
Yeah, and as we've highlighted in regards to some of those states, I mean, mainly Michigan and Pennsylvania, those states starting to begin the trend reversal when we look at unemployment claims, as we highlight every Thursday here. Some of those states showing some strength maybe in reaching a bottom on unemployment claims, but we'll continue to track that. Lastly, when we think about how impactful Joe Biden's vice presidential pick might be now, when you consider how close some of those swing states are, interesting to see that Kamala Harris, one of his old foes on the campaign trail, still maintaining her lead as the highest odds on your market to be elected Veep. How have you seen those odds maybe fluctuate here as we move closer to the election?
Well, just as Joe Biden's now trading as at its highest ever point or highest ever price on our market, so the same for Kamala Harris, who's now at 45%. She has a very large lead over the next person on our market, who's currently Val Demings at 15% or Susan Rice at 10%. So what we see is 3 incredibly qualified African-American women who have a law and order background, who are intensely intelligent people who are young, they're around their 50s, contrasting with Joe Biden, who can really bring something extra to the ticket. They're everything that Joe Biden isn't. And where Joe Biden is doing Joe Biden, going across the states and getting as many votes as everyone predicted he would with his background, these people can all add something very strong to that ticket and push him even further towards victory. It's very clear that it's going to be a woman. I mean, he said it will be. These 3 women are enormously qualified, and they each have their fan base and they each have their strengths and weaknesses. So I see that going forward, when he puts his mark down, chooses his VP, there's going to be a very strong ticket for Democrats going to November.
Yeah, and we'll have to see how the markets react to all of that as well. Once the VP candidate is officially named, we'll see how it impacts things. But Sarbjit Bakhshi, appreciate you taking the time. Smarkets head of political markets. Thanks again.
Hey investors, Zack Guzman here. Are you interested in learning more about the markets and getting the latest financial news? Well, then click right here to subscribe to our Yahoo Finance YouTube channel. Get the latest up-to-the-minute market analysis, big interviews in the world of finance, and information on how to manage your money every day wherever you are.